So there's this dude who always ends up sitting next to the goth girl in class. She's quiet, mysterious, full Wednesday Addams energy. For some reason, nobody else ever talks to her. Like she's surrounded by an invisible force field made of eyeliner and bad vibes. One day, the guy decides to break the curse. He leans over and goes, "Hey, how's it going?" She doesn't even blink. Then, real calm, she says she's drawing. He's like, "Oh, that's cool. I can't even draw stick figures." She looks up, eyes dark but kinda shiny, and asks if he wants to see it. He says sure, because turning down a goth girl with a sketchbook sounds like bad luck. She spins the notebook around and boom, introduces her masterpiece, an original character named Jack Kurosaki Saki. According to her, Jack's half demon, half problem, and fully hot. His parents got smoked by demons, so he absorbed their power and now roams the world craving chaos and blood. She's explaining all this like she's pitching an anime to Netflix. Everyone loves him, she adds. He's strong and nice. The dude just nods along, trying to look interested while his soul slowly packs its bags. Every time she says Jack, his regret level rises. He thought he was starting a conversation. Turns out he just unlocked a 2-hour lore dump. By the end, he's staring at the drawing, pretending to analyze shading while mentally promising never to ask, "What you doing?" again in his life. Later that day, class finally ends, and our boy's packing up to dip. He barely makes it out the door when someone grabs his jacket from behind. It's the goth girl again, quiet like a horror movie cameo but twice as dramatic. He freezes, turns around, and tells her to stop following him. She stares straight at him and says she thought they were friends now. Bro's internal Wi-Fi disconnects for a second, then he mumbles that she can at least walk with him to the station. Instant W. She lights up like the moon just gave her a spotlight. Now she's following him all the way down the hallway, holding his jacket like it's a boyfriend's starter pack. He's walking stiff, clearly questioning every decision that led him here. Meanwhile, she's smiling like she just beat the game on the first try. In her mind, he's already hers. And honestly, Bro kinda pulled a goth girlfriend without even trying. Man said one polite thing and accidentally rizzed up a baddie. Meanwhile, the rest of us can't even get a text back. Next day, Ophelia pulls Tyler aside with that serious "we need to talk" face. She says she wants to tell him something, and he goes, "Alright, what's up?" But when she opens her mouth, the words just glitch. Girl's tongue hits a blue screen. She doesn't know how he'll react. Tyler tells her to spit it out already, so she finally blurts that she's going to a goth meetup after school. Then she nervously asks if he wants to come. Bro scratches his head and says he's not really into that kind of stuff. You can feel the energy drop. Ophelia tries to save it by saying it's fine that she just got a new CD yesterday. Maybe they could listen to it instead. But Tyler, clearly on the defensive, tells her to listen to it herself. "No offense," he adds right before adding all the offense. Then he snaps and tells her to just drop it. Her smile fades instantly. She forces a little nod, says it's okay, and walks away before the tears spill. Tyler stands there realizing he just speed ran the How to Ruin Your First Goth Relationship tutorial. He keeps calling after her, trying to explain himself, but she's already halfway gone. Bro had accidental game last episode. Now he's out here refunding it in real time. Next morning, Tyler's back in the sports room, pretending to organize gear but really just replaying yesterday's disaster on loop. He knows he messed up with Ophelia and keeps sighing like that's going to undo anything. While he's digging through a closet, he hears the door creak and turns to see Ophelia standing there. She walks up all calm and casual and says hi first. Tyler straightens up fast. Man wasn't expecting her to actually show. She smiles and asks if he wants to go to the mall. He hesitates for half a beat, then says sure, trying to sound chill even though his brain's doing cartwheels. The second he agrees, Ophelia's whole face lights up. She's clearly thrilled and he's already feeling like maybe this is his redemption arc. He grabs his jacket, tells her they should head out right away so they can pick out some clothes for her. She nods, still smiling, and the two of them start walking together. For once, it feels like things might not end in emotional damage. Tyler's thinking about what to say next, and Ophelia's just happy to be next to him, goth aesthetic and all. Bro fumbled yesterday but somehow pulled a day today. Man's luck really swings like a plot twist. Next day, Tyler's heading out, and his friends are dapping him up on the way. Ophelia walks over, quiet but confident, and asks if he wants to do something fun today. He says sure, and the two of them step out together for juice. Low-key a date, even if nobody's calling it that. They sit down with their drinks, and Tyler finally asks the question that has been sitting in his head. Why does she even want to hang out with him? Ophelia blinks, confused, and asks what he means. He tries again, a little awkward. She's goth, he's a jock, and it feels like they have nothing in common. Why be with him at all? Bro's out here acting like having a goth girl interested is a problem. That's like saying your lobster's too buttery and your steak's too juicy. Discord mods are literally running summoning rituals for one, and this man's trying to refund his blessing. And there it is, the tension on the table between two people who vibe. Even if the labels do not, Bro is not trying to be rude. He's just terrified of the gap. Meanwhile, she's sitting across from him, sipping juice, acting like the gap is exactly why this works. Ophelia looks down for a moment, her voice quiet as she tells him that nobody really talks to her. Nobody asks her to hang out or even sits with her. The words hang heavy between them, and Tyler suddenly doesn't know what to say. Then she adds softly that even he only spends time with her out of pity. It hits harder than she means it to. For a second, Tyler just sits there, frozen, watching her face drop as if she already regrets saying it. She sighs and admits that he's the only one who ever talks to her, even if it's just because he feels bad. He tries to think of something to fix it, but nothing comes out. Ophelia leans her head gently against his shoulder, like she's finally letting all the loneliness spill out. Tyler stays quiet, sipping his juice, trying to hide how guilty he suddenly feels. It's one of those moments where the air itself feels heavier. No jokes, no words, just two people sitting there, one scared of losing the only connection she has, and the other realizing he might have taken it for granted all along. In the locker room, a few of Tyler's teammates start laughing, and one of them leans over, asking if that goth girl is still bothering him. Tyler raises a brow and asks if they mean Ophelia. The guys chuckle and go, "Yeah, that one." They start talking trash, calling her annoying and weird, saying even the girls avoid her. Tyler looks up from his locker and mutters that she's really not that bad. The room goes silent for half a second before everyone bursts out laughing. One guy slaps his shoulder, grinning, and tells him to rethink that statement. They joke like she's a walking punchline, but Tyler's not really laughing. He just forces a smirk, wondering why it even bothers him so much. Bro's defending her without realizing it. Man's catching feelings like a wide receiver. In the locker room, the guys crowd Tyler and start talking slick. He's the star quarterback, so he shouldn't be hanging around goth freaks. Another teammate claps his hands and tells him to suit up. They still have practice. Tyler forces a nod and mutters that they're right, which earns a round of laughs like he just passed some dumb loyalty test. What he doesn't see is Ophelia standing by the door, quiet, holding a painting she made for him. It's her thank you for the mall trip. She hears every word, fingers tightening on the canvas until the edges bend. That smile she brought with her, gone. He thinks he's keeping his image clean. Really, he's treating a goth crush like it's a PR scandal. Discord mods would sell their souls for this, and he's out here agreeing with the hecklers. Ophelia lowers her head, eyes glassy, and turns away before anyone notices. The room keeps buzzing like nothing happened. Tyler laughs along for one more second, then that laugh tastes bitter. He doesn't know it yet, but the damage already landed. Cut to black on the painting. She can't bear to give him any more. She drew the painting to thank him because he went with her to the mall. Tyler opens his closet and finds a sketch of himself taped inside, staring back at him. For a moment he just looks at it, then hears those locker room voices in his head again, calling him the star quarterback who cannot be seen hanging out with goth freaks. He lets out a tired sigh, shuts the closet, and tries to act like it does not bother him. On his way to class, the hallway turns into a small runway. Every girl he passes glances over, whispering and smiling like he is their personal celebrity. From the outside, it looks perfect. On the inside, he is replaying last night and realizing his reputation is starting to feel more like a cage. When he walks into the classroom, he spots Ophelia sitting alone at her desk, hunched over her notebook and drawing. He walks up to her and asks what she is working on. Guessing she is drawing that character she made up, Jack Kuro something. He leans in a little and asks if he can see it too. Ophelia snaps. She yells at him to stop forcing it, voice sharp enough to cut the air. Tyler jerks back, literally clueless about why she is so mad. Bro is getting cooked for the mess he made yesterday and still does not realize the stove is on. Ophelia has gone full nuclear on Tyler's sorry ass the moment he walks up. She keeps yelling at him to stop trying to force himself, and she starts scribbling on her paper so harshly it looks like she's imagining the paper is his stupid face. Then she snaps that he needs to stop forcing himself to talk to her. Tyler, being the dense little jock he is, tries calling her name like that'll magically fix anything. Bro is negotiating with a bomb mid-explosion and still doesn't get why it's ticking. Ophelia shoots up from her seat and fires the real shot. Does he want all his football buddies thinking he's hanging out with a goth freak? That one lands deadly accurate. Even the Discord support group would start hunting this man for fumbling this badly. Tyler tries to explain himself, but she cuts him off instantly. She tells him to leave her alone, then walks away while he stands there completely clueless, not understanding how he managed to ruin the highlight of his entire romantic career. Ophelia goes home on emotional autopilot and collapses onto her bed like her whole system shut down. The room is dead quiet, and that silence makes every bad thought louder. Lying there, she keeps replaying Tyler agreeing with his boys, basically co-signing the whole goth freak thing. It hits her straight in the chest, and before she can even blink, she's crying again. She remembers the painting she made, the time she spent with him, all the small things that felt special. Now it all feels stupid because she thought he actually cared. This girl is heartbroken, while Tyler out there is fumbling harder than a quarterback with butter on his hands. The next day comes, and Ophelia still hasn't recovered. She's curled up in her room, crying off and on, stuck replaying the moment that broke her. Meanwhile, Tyler's sitting in class looking around like a lost puppy. Ophelia's seat is empty, and his brain is overheating trying to figure out why she didn't show. He keeps glancing at the door as if she'll pop in any second. Bro is starting to feel the consequences of his L in real time. Low-key, he's more worried than he wants to admit. Tyler keeps waiting all day for Ophelia to show up, but her seat stays empty like she vanished from existence. The bell rings and he's still clueless about what's going on. On his way out, a group of guys walk up loud and hyped, talking about a movie they watched and a legendary topless scene. They dap Tyler up, then immediately start clowning Ophelia again. One of them laughs about her not showing up to school, acting like she's some kind of joke. Tyler's face drops instantly. These dudes don't know it, but they're walking straight into a rage meter that's about to hit 100. Tyler finally snaps. The moment that clown makes fun of Ophelia again, Tyler turns around and punches him straight in the face. No hesitation, no warm-up. He slams the dude onto the floor and starts swinging like he's trying to beat respect into him. Each punch is fueled by every memory of Ophelia crying alone. Then he pauses for a second, thinking about her, and that moment actually stops him from going full WWE. But that pause is all the opening the universe needed to make things worse. As Tyler's holding back, he keeps thinking about Ophelia and realizing all of this is his fault. He messed up, and now he's cleaning it with his fists. Suddenly, one of the guy's friends jumps in and punches Tyler in the face. Hard. He yells at him not to touch his friend, then punches him again and sends Tyler crashing to the ground. The whole fight is snowballing fast until another dude rushes in, shouting at everyone to stop. He grabs them and drags everyone apart before a teacher catches them. This hallway went from teenage drama to UFC main event in 5 seconds. Tyler is sprawled out on the floor, hurting all over and breathing like he just fought a bear. The guy who broke up the fight holds out a hand and helps him up. He tells Tyler he doesn't know what happened, but they can't let any teacher see this or they're all cooked. The dude Tyler punched earlier points at him and tells him he should leave. Tyler wipes his face, mutters whatever, and walks off. His pride is bruised almost as much as his jaw. Bro walked in as the star quarterback and walked out looking like an unpaid intern. They're all walking away when the guy Tyler wrecked decides to talk more trash. He tells Tyler to go cry to his goth girlfriend and to stop showing up to training. Then he crosses the line and insults Ophelia directly. Tyler whips around instantly, yelling what the hell is wrong with him. He demands to know why it matters if she wears black or is goth. He shouts that Ophelia has been nothing but nice to him, so why should her style matter at all? The guy just looks at him and says Tyler still doesn't get what he's saying, and that's when things take a nasty turn. The guy finally spills it. He says Ophelia slept with Mr. Stevens, the professor, just to get higher grades. The whole group starts laughing like it's the funniest rumor ever. One dude says he heard the same thing from some girls, and they all start calling her nasty. They're treating her name like trash for sport. Tyler's rage meter hits maximum. He tries to swing again, but the peacemaker guy holds him back before things explode again. Bro is 1 second away from catching a suspension over a rumor that isn't even real. The peacemaker tells Tyler he's sorry he had to hear that and tells him to stop before he gets himself hurt. Tyler almost swings at him too, but forces himself to calm down. He turns and walks away, fists shaking, chest tight with anger he can't release. Behind him, one of the guys calls out sarcastically that he should take some time off to cool down. Then he reminds Tyler that he's still their star quarterback, but reputation matters. That line hits Tyler harder than the punches did. Meanwhile, Ophelia is at home sitting on her bed, drowning in everything she heard at school. She suddenly stands and starts ripping up the painting she made for Tyler. Each tear sends her back into flashbacks of girls laughing at her, mocking her clothes, calling her names. Her brain is spiraling. Then a vision of Tyler appears for a split second and fades, like her hope disappearing with it. This girl is absolutely shattered. Minor Juan Ophelia sees another glimpse, Tyler's hand reaching for hers, and she tries to grab it. The second she gets close, it vanishes again. She's sitting there realizing how badly she needs him right now, but he isn't here. She feels completely alone, like she's crumbling from every direction. Of all the people she thought would stay, he was the one she believed in. Now she's scared she was wrong. Tyler goes back to his closet and stares at the award-winning sketch of himself taped inside. Usually he's proud of it. Today he just sees a guy who messed up. He remembers what the guy said earlier, that reputation matters, and he closes the closet slowly. His face says everything. He hates himself for caring what they think. He walks away, calling himself a moron under his breath. Bro finally realizes the only L bigger than losing Ophelia is losing himself. Tyler starts walking toward class like everything's normal. Then his brain finally connects the dots and he just takes off running. He bolts out of the school and plows through anyone in his way like a fullback with zero awareness. He is not thinking about homework, practice, or reputation anymore. It is all noise. The only thought left in his head is getting to Ophelia. Meanwhile, Ophelia is at home, sitting on her bed, stressing over what she should do, stuck in a loop of overthinking and hurt. Tyler is sprinting like a man late to his own redemption arc, basically telling her in his head to wait for him. Out in the city, some girls are chilling at a roadside cafe, eating pizza and talking about that gluten disc that apparently prevented a world war. Their conversation is insane, but Tyler flies past them like background NPCs. He keeps running, lungs burning, legs on autopilot. All he cares about is getting to Ophelia's house before his courage runs out. Back in her room, Ophelia is still sitting there, worried and lost, having no clue he is on the way. Then someone knocks and rings the bell. Her parents go to the door, open it, and find a guy standing there. Ophelia's mom comes to her room and tells her that a friend came to see her. That word alone breaks Ophelia's brain because she has exactly 0 friends. She imagines girls from school showing up at her house just to bully her again, to laugh in her face on her own doorstep. She covers her ears and refuses to believe anyone decent would come to see her. Her mom keeps telling her to come downstairs, but Ophelia is terrified, convinced it is some new humiliation waiting to happen. Then her phone rings. It is Tyler calling, and that is when she realizes who is actually at the door. Ophelia starts walking toward the door, every step dragging her through the same thought loop. Tyler does not want his friends to know he hangs out with a goth freak. He is better off without her. She tells herself that he only ever spent time with her out of pity. Even so, she forces herself to get up, pushes her limits, and finally opens the door. Tyler is there, standing in her room, holding out the pen she left at school. He tells her he came to give it back because she forgot it. He tries to say something more, but before he can get the words out, Ophelia feels dizzy and collapses to the floor. When Ophelia regains consciousness, everything is blurry. Slowly, the shapes sharpen into her parents and Tyler standing right beside her bed. She sits up and shouts Tyler's name, shocked he is really there. Her mom leads her dad out of the room so they can talk privately. Tyler tells her again that he came to return the pen she left at school. Then he admits the real reason. He came because he was worried about her. Ophelia freezes. It is the first time in her life someone has been genuinely worried about her, and she goes completely speechless. Tyler takes Ophelia out for a walk, and every girl who knows him watches them pass by with pure jealousy. They are all thinking the same thing. Why is she the one walking with him and not them? The two of them walk in silence. Tyler keeps thinking that even though her parents suggested the walk, this might be too much, too fast. He is low-key overthinking every step. Ophelia, on the other hand, feels her heart racing like it is trying to escape her chest. She has no idea why being next to him suddenly makes her whole body panic. She tells herself to calm down, convincing herself that Tyler is only here because he feels sorry for her. As they keep walking, Ophelia keeps telling herself this cannot be real. In her head, Tyler is just taking pity on her, and he does not actually care at all. She calls his name and thanks him for worrying about her, but inside she is sure he is only here because he feels bad. Then she tells him it is okay if he does not want to talk to her anymore, saying she understands and that it was silly to think he really cared. She says he only asked about her drawing to be nice and she ended up talking his ear off all day. She admits she was just so excited that someone finally wanted to talk to her. When she thinks about those girls at school bullying her again, the pencil slips from her hand. Her past and present are colliding and she is convinced this moment is going to disappear too. Ophelia drops her pencil and finally breaks. She tells Tyler she's just ruining his reputation, like she's some kind of walking PR disaster. Tyler tries to defend himself, but she cuts him off and tells him he should go. When he steps closer to comfort her, she smacks his hand away like it personally offended her ancestors. Girl is done. Nuclear, melt the floor angry. Tyler snaps. He tells her he doesn't give a single damn about his reputation. Not one atom, not one molecule. He says he cares about her, and it's not pity. Then he drops the real bomb. He liked when she followed him around, he wanted to see her every day, and he doesn't care what the school thinks anymore. Finally, he says her name and confesses he really likes her. Bro went from emotionally constipated to Shakespeare in 5 seconds. Tyler crouches, picks up her fallen pen like it's a holy relic, and tells her he's not leaving her alone ever again. Then he says he loves her no matter what. My guy is speedrunning vulnerability. When she hears it, Ophelia just snaps into a hug so tight it could crack ribs. She cries even harder and they hold each other like the world might end if they let go. Next morning, they walk into school together. Ophelia grabs him from behind like she's claiming her DLC early. Everyone stops to stare because the school's star quarterback is pulling up with a goth girlfriend. Tyler doesn't fold. He grabs her hand in front of everyone and looks at her like she hung the moon. Meanwhile, half the school's gossip network just exploded. When Tyler holds her hand, Ophelia short-circuits emotionally and hugs him in front of the entire school. Then she asks if he has practice after school. Tyler says he does. Ophelia instantly volunteers to watch him practice, and Tyler's like, yeah, that'd be awesome. Meanwhile, the football team is somewhere screaming internally about their quarterback being booed up before warm-ups. Tyler and Ophelia chill under a tree, having one of those soft, cute couple moments. She looks at him and asks if he wants to go to a concert with her since she's got 2 tickets. She even says it's fine if he can't, but Tyler says he'll come. No hesitation. She looks stunned like she just unlocked a secret ending. She even asks again just to make sure, and he confirms he's in. Concert day hits. Tyler walks in with her and sees tons of couples dressed up. Suddenly, he wonders if he should have dressed differently. Welcome to boyfriend panic mode, population him. Tyler and Ophelia hang out feeling all cute and couple-ish. He asks what she wants to do for Christmas. She softly says she just wants to spend more time with him. Bro is one supportive hug away from melting into a puddle. Later, Tyler goes to the market wondering what to get her for Christmas. Decision paralysis hits him harder than any linebacker. He remembers talking to her parents, who told him she's always wanted the pocket creature games since she was a kid. While he's thinking, Ophelia comes running toward him with the cutest smile ever, then slips and eats the floor. Tyler helps her up and tells her there's ice everywhere and she needs to chill before she breaks her spine. Tyler gives her the gift. She asks if she can open it and he says go ahead. She tears it open and finds a pocket creature game. She lights up instantly, saying she hasn't played since she was 10. Tyler hits her with an oh no right before sneezing loud enough to scare the guy next to them. Ophelia calls the gift nostalgic and asks how he knew. He dodges the question, but she smiles and thanks him anyway. Tyler is relieved she loved it. At school, the bell rings and Ophelia runs to meet Tyler. She asks if he's ready to go home. Tyler tosses his stuff in his locker and walks with her while holding her hand. both of them glowing with that new couple energy. But the guys at school look at them like their favorite video game just got discontinued. They hate it, and Tyler caves. He drops her hand and apologizes, saying he can't walk home with her today because he has practice. He promises to call her later and leaves her standing alone. Ophelia forces a smile, wishes him good luck, but inside she's silently begging him not to let her walk home alone because she just wants to be with him. Ophelia stands there alone, trying to breathe like she's convincing herself not to combust. She keeps whispering that she can do this, even though every cell in her body is screaming otherwise. Tyler loves football, she reminds herself, so she can't fall apart every time he leaves for practice. She finally forces herself to walk home, but as she passes a group of girls, they stop chatting and immediately lock onto her like she's the new gossip buffet. One of them grabs her arm and straight up asks what she's doing. Ophelia says he's at practice. The girl asks if they're still together in that tone people use when they're trying to provoke a meltdown. Ophelia stays calm until she goes full reflex mode and basically punches the girl in the face. Queen behavior, yes, but also, oh no. The girls immediately go feral. They snatch Ophelia and drag her off like a pack of dollar store supervillains. Ophelia keeps begging them to let her go since her parents might worry, but the main girl grabs her face like she owns it and demands she repeat herself. Ophelia nervously says she needs to go home. The girl does not care. She socks Ophelia right in the face. Then she hits her with the most manipulative line ever. Tell your parents you were hanging out with your boyfriend. They'll understand. Meanwhile, across campus, Tyler is at practice getting yelled at by a coach who sounds like he eats megaphones for breakfast. Crystal City High has never lost a game, so the coach is treating this practice like a military boot camp. Nobody has any idea that Ophelia is currently living the worst side quest of her life. Ophelia finally gets home. Her mom is cooking dinner and immediately lights up when she sees her daughter. She even asks if Tyler is coming over to eat like she's ready to set a plate for him already. But Ophelia quietly asks if she can eat in her room. That's the first red flag. Her mom asks if something's wrong. Ophelia, still facing away, says she's fine and she's just tired. She heads upstairs fast, but the moment her door closes, she snaps. She throws her bag to the floor and completely breaks down. Her face is bruised, her notebooks are torn, and everything hits her all at once. The sadness, the fear, the humiliation, she can't hold anything in anymore, and she collapses into a full meltdown. Ophelia drops to her knees, shaking and furious. Her mind keeps replaying what happened earlier. She begged those girls, literally begged, to give her notebook back, but they just smirked like they'd been waiting for this moment. Her panic only made them more curious. They realized something important was inside that notebook, and that was it. They switched from mean girls to actual villains. They mocked her drawings, they tore apart her sketches, they laughed in her face, calling her childish for drawing like that at her age. She cried and pleaded with them to stop. But the main girl, no remorse. Not even a millimeter. It was pure cruelty for fun. Ophelia watches in shock as the girls rip her artwork apart like they're shredding her entire soul. She screams at them to stop, but they just laugh and tell her to shut up. She grabs her notebook and hugs it tight like it's the last piece of herself she has left. But they circle her again. They tell her to hand it over. She refuses, and for once she actually stands up for herself. That shocks them. They expected her to fold. The main girl yanks her hair hard enough to make her gasp. She tells Ophelia never to talk back like that again. Then she slams Ophelia to the ground and rips the notebook from her hands. Pages fly everywhere. Drawings she worked so hard on get shredded. Even her own friends tell her to stop, but the girl snaps at them to shut up and continues tearing it like she's possessed. Ophelia can only sit there crying silently as every memory she treasured gets destroyed right in front of her. Tyler chugs his water like he just fought God, and over time, breathing hard while the summer sun cooks him alive. His teammate hypes him up, saying the coach is taking the Crystal High match like a personal vendetta. Tyler sighs because yeah, coach had them running drills like he was training Spartans. The guy thanks Tyler for carrying the whole squad because without him they would have been grilled like kebabs. Then he starts glazing him a little too much, calling him the best and asking if Ophelia is cool with him hanging with the boys. Tyler freezes because he completely forgot about her. He panics and yells the time. Meanwhile, Ophelia sits in her room gripping her pen so tight it might snap. Her eyes look empty, her hand won't stop shaking, and all she writes is the same word over and over. Why? She doesn't hear her phone ring, she doesn't blink. She just whispers why like her heart is stuck in a loop. Ophelia sits alone in a dark classroom looking like the world is collapsing on top of her. Tyler walks in saying he tried calling her yesterday and asks if she fell asleep. She doesn't answer because she's too busy shredding her notebook with angry strokes. Tyler starts panicking and apologizes for not walking her home, blaming the coach for working them like pack mules before the big game. Ophelia finally speaks, but her voice is cold. She says she doesn't care. Tyler blinks confused and she raises her voice saying she doesn't care about his stupid game. That hits him hard. He nervously asks if the girls did something again. The second he mentions them, Ophelia freezes like someone yanked the air out of her. Tyler tries comforting her and says they bully her because of her style and he should have been there. Then he ruins everything by suggesting she wear normal clothes for a while. This man really said the verbal equivalent of "have you tried being less you?" The moment the words leave his mouth, Ophelia goes silent. Tyler basically told her to stop being herself, and the betrayal hits her like a punch to the throat. She stands there replaying his words again and again until her eyes fill up. Tyler stutters, asking if he said something wrong. She finally snaps and curses him out, leaving him stunned because he's never seen her like this. Tears run down her face as she gets up to walk away. Tyler calls after her, saying class is about to start, but she ignores him completely. He yells her name like that's going to fix anything, and runs after her, desperately trying to salvage the mess he just created. Congratulations, Tyler. You unlocked the rare negative Riz achievement. A random student sees Ophelia storming down the hallway and tells her Tyler was looking for her, but she keeps walking like she didn't hear a thing. Tyler rushes in after her, calling out her name and begging her to stop. He grabs her hand to talk, but she yanks it away and tells him to let go. She breaks down, yelling that she wears these clothes because they are her, and she won't change even if everyone treats her like trash. She cries openly, and Tyler finally realizes he just fumbled harder than any man alive. He apologizes again, but she walks away with her heart in pieces. His maid sees the aftermath and tells him he messed up badly. All Tyler can do is facepalm himself because yeah, he cooked his own downfall. Looking at the steaming cup of coffee in her hand, she feels some kind of relief while sinking into another girl's arm that looks just like her. It looks like she is taking a moment with her parents while her phone is in another room. On the other hand, Tyler is messaging, trying to undo the glorious way he fumbled a baddie. He keeps apologizing and asking her to talk to him, promising to do anything he can to make up for it. Bro doesn't know that the ship has sailed long ago. He realizes the problem was that he didn't think while he was speaking. He grabs his head with both his hands and a strange guy walks up to him, telling him that he recognizes him. He is the quarterback from Sunstone High. The other blonde guy keeps on trying to make small talk, but Tyler is in no mood to make new friends. He tells the other guy to leave him alone. The other guy just smirks and tells him to keep that dead-eyed look. Only that way will they have an easy win next time. He then walks up to a baddie of his own that kind of looks like a goth, but Tyler can't see anything that's happening with all the guilt flooding his eyes. He sighs in anger, looking at his hand and wondering what he should do. He's been too impulsive, not caring about what she cared about. He debates whether he should go back to her place or just stay where he is and keep messaging like a loser. While he is busy having an internal battle, someone calls up to him. He turns and his eyes widen in surprise as it looks like it's Ophelia asking him what's wrong. But it turns out it's not Ophelia, but another goth baddie. Looks like it's true. While others die of thirst, this bro is drowning in goths. He wonders if there's relationship trouble. Tyler is taken aback, and his V-card keepers can't believe that another goth is flocking to him. What is he? A goth magnet. She just smiles, saying that she's a concerned football fan. Tyler starts to judge a book by its cover, wondering how she can be a jock fan when she's clearly goth. She doesn't beat around the bush and goes straight to the point. It looks like he's having relationship problems. Tyler wants to be alone. Why is this girl trying to help him out? They're not even in the same school. She just tells him that someone who is really excited to wash this mask texted her, and if his head isn't in the game, he's going to ruin it for everyone. As the star quarterback, he needs to get his A game. Little trashy loser bro looks away like a beta male, but the goth won't be taking a no for an answer. She appears around his arm, asking him to tell her the problem, and she'll help. Goth Baddie 2.0 keeps grilling him for answers about his problems. He wonders who the hell is she? His fairy goth mother. The little baddie is also drawn to his loser energy. His vibe is totally different, and she even promises to keep it their little dirty secret. Tyler sighs, and for half an hour, he spills his problems over a cup of boba tea. The goth nods, saying that he has a dramatic slice of life. He can't believe why she is being so supportive. The baddie realizes that it turns out that his girlfriend has been bullied straight up for days, all because of her fashion choices. Our stupid little jock still doesn't understand why she wants to wear those clothes if everyone hates her in them. Isn't it better to just go with the flow instead of being an easy target for the mean girls? And he just can't get it. Bro just fumbled his second goth baddie. She looks at him in disgust, realizing that he is a misogynistic piece of trash, but she sighs and calls him an idiot. Finally, someone is giving little bro the cold, hard truth. Back in the 1980s, everyone was walking around with a bob cut and thrift store jackets looking like a hipster. A loud crash echoes through the city, and a nerd looks around and sees a pair of beautiful thighs looking at him. He looks at the goth baddie, who is confused and dazed just like him. He reaches out to her, trying to help her up. He also spots a comic lying across the fallen papers. He apologizes and kneels down like a true gentleman. She also starts collecting her papers, telling him that it's okay and she doesn't mind, but he shouldn't read that comic. Her eyes widen in surprise as the guy bursts out in tears, saying that this novel is beautiful. It is peak, and did she write it all? While she is going ballistic internally that someone actually likes her novel, she tries to play it cool, telling him that indeed she is. Now the nerd, all grown up and a true jock, tells his goth daughter that's how he met her mother. The goth baddie in question looks at her hubby, recalling their meeting, while she fixes him a cup of cocoa.